Good morning. Welcome to Energy Works. Today we're talking about climbing mountains. So each of us have mountains in our life to climb, maybe not literally, but in terms of the things that we need to overcome, whether it's physically, emotionally, spiritually, or in some other way. And the mountains can come through people, or they can come through situations, or health, or finances, or relationships, or local areas, or world events, or all sorts of things can become the mountain that we have to climb. And lots of us have had mountains to climb in the last few years. So I wanted to do a call about climbing the mountains in our life. And then kind of literally, I've been working on a technique called advanced biostructural correction, which is helping people's posture to be more up, working on, the bones that move forward prevent us from staying upright. And so it's like sometimes we just think we're being lazy with our posture, but it's actually the bones that are forward won't allow us to stand up straight. And then we have to use a weird, bundle of muscles to try and hold ourselves up, when really the problem is how we're sitting. Good morning, Cecile. Yeah, so I wanted to clear some energy about facing all the parts of us that maybe feel a bit mountainous right now, and to help us all to feel like it's possible to climb the mountains that are in our life. So let's go to our heart chakra. Because I guess in the end, we have to follow our heart, isn't it? Because our heart will tell us which way we need to go. All right. So the first affirmation that comes up in the heart is, I am supported. And sometimes we don't feel supported. We feel like we're doing it alone, that we're climbing these big mountains all by ourselves, and it feels very hard. And sometimes like we don't have the tools, or we don't have the strength, or the mind strength, or the physical strength to climb the mountains that are in our life. All right, so some generational baggage attached to being supported from dad's side of the family. All right, so let's go into the throat chakra. I'm able to harness my willpower to control addictive influences in my life. So I'd have to say no to that one at the moment. I've become a gym junkie, so I've been going crazy because they've got like a MyZone competition going on in New South Wales. Anyway, I'm trying to help my club. So sometimes we have good addictions and sometimes we have bad addictions, but I think anything in our life that becomes addictive, we might have to watch, because then it will take over other areas of our life and we become imbalanced. All right, I willingly replace, and you can put your addiction in there, with my powerful creativity. So what would you like to create, and how are you going to create it differently? It's okay for me to tell my story. I'm confident in the healing power of love to open my throat for greater self-expression. And often when we don't feel okay, we don't feel like we can express ourselves, or that, what we say people will understand, or that they might even be interested in. So that we tend to hold it all in there, and then we can either get a sore throat or a sore neck, because we're not expressing what it really needs to come out. And of course, originally it comes from our heart, isn't it? It's got to come out through our throat. All right, I express myself easily and with courage. Uh, I think that the more that we are able to express ourselves with courage, the more that we enable others to express themselves with courage. And I've seen that in my life many times. So, hoping that you are able to express yourself with courage because we need to hear what you have to say and you'll change our thinking. All right, so now we're going in the brow chakra and the pituitary gland comes in. All right, so just looking in feelings buried alive, never die, the pituitary gland. Continually picturing ill health or sickness, or feelings of being a constant recipient of bad luck or misfortune. Good morning, Margaret. Oh, it's a little hard to hear. I wonder why that is. All right, something from age 6. Good morning, Susanna. All right, so the pituitary gland was about picturing ill health or feeling like you're the recipient of bad luck or misfortune. All right, and our sleep is being included here. So having trouble going to sleep or having trouble staying asleep. I focus on what I love and it comes to me. I choose to replace I choose to replace fear with faith. Deep restorative sleep comes easily. So there's our sleep again. I easily cut through any illusion and find the truth. So if you're brave enough, what are the mountains that you're climbing right now? All right, so now we're going into the crown chakra. And this is about feelings of being abandoned by God. So sometimes we may feel that what we desire and what we hope for isn't happening in the way that we would hope. But often what presents is what's in the way of us getting to what we want. And maybe it's not really in the way, it's on the way and what we have to address. So you might use vetiver oil here. Vetiver oil challenges the need to escape pain. It centers individuals in their true self and guides them downward to the root of their emotional issues. So that's kind of important, isn't it? Sometimes we have these problems that we're facing and we can't sort of make sense of it, but Vetiver will help you get to the bottom. Vetiver opens the door to light and recovery through this downward journey. So you might use Vetiver when you're feeling scattered and when you're needing to feel connected. We all need to feel connection, whether it's to God or whether it's to family or friends or to the earth. We all need connection. So some generational baggage preventing connection from mum's side of the family. And some stuck emotions. Feeling no mercy for self. So sometimes we can be a bit brutal to ourselves or feel that we have to be hard on ourselves. And some people's families really did have difficult roots. There were difficulty in finding the way through life, difficulty sometimes in obtaining food or shelter or, security or safety. All right, back to the brow chakra. My thoughts are getting more and more positive each day. So the value of honesty. And sometimes it's about being honest with ourselves. So when we are aligned in our thoughts, words, and actions, we are truly honest. In this state, it is impossible to conflict with anyone or anything. There is nothing to defend, hide, or reason to deceive. I choose my thoughts carefully. And sometimes we forget that we have the power to choose our thoughts. Sometimes we just think that we're, victims to whatever thoughts pop in our head. And the thoughts might pop in there for a reason, but that may also be good to examine why we have those thoughts and what's behind them. I value honesty. Um, and I think, like, having been a people pleaser, often you want to say the things that you think other people would like to hear. So we may not always be, um, is open about what we really feel. All right, now something to do with our boundaries. I can still be a great friend or mate and still have healthy boundaries. And I think that's really important for us to learn how to have those healthy boundaries and still, maintain friendships with other people. All right. I'm mindful to encourage people to gather their energy from the source as I do. I'm strong enough to keep my shutters closed regardless of the difficulties that I face. So we have like windows to our soul, which we should open and be open to inspiration and particularly divine inspiration. But sometimes it's like, I guess in Australia, if it's a sunny day and you open the windows, all the flies come in. So it's like also having screens or shutters to keep out the the bugs, and it can be spiritual bugs in this case. So it's like sometimes when life is getting really tough and our boundaries are being tested, we may be more open to negativity and allow negative influences in our life. Right, something in the middle of our back. So I'm going to use Ina Siegel's book, The Secret Language of Your Body. So this is in T8. All right, feeling afraid of failure. So I guess, we're all scared to fail or to make mistakes, and, we face that. But I guess, is it really failure, or is it, well, maybe we could do it a little differently? And maybe it's the opportunity to actually modify, or I don't know, I guess when you're cooking something and the flavor mightn't be quite right. So you might have to add some salt or pepper or some herbs or spices or something to improve the flavor. So I guess that's the same in our life. If things aren't flowing really well, we just might need to doctor it a little bit. All right, so now we're going into the value of tolerance. And sometimes we find it hard to tolerate other people. I'm tolerant and understanding of my spouse. And sometimes the people that are closest to us are the people that we're most reactive to, and the ones that we get crankiest with. I'm free to choose differently from my parents' opinions and show greater compassion. I understand that when people know better, they do better. My tolerance extends to all creatures, great and small. All right, back to the heart chakra. Bronchitis is coming up. I open my heart to love. I'm able to freely love without fear of rejection. I'm confident the healing power of God's love will heal my mind, heart, and body. Love is everywhere, and I allow myself to experience it. Growth can be comfortable while being stretched at times. Because we all do want to grow, don't we? We want to increase our capacity to deal with life and to understand life and to be able to work with the things that are presented to us. I can put one foot in the dark and have faith the light will come. I allow and encourage others to shine around me. All can shine. I don't think there's a limit, is there? Sometimes we can feel limited, that there's not enough in our life, or, if we're in business, if other people have the similar business, that we might lose business, but I always feel that there's more than enough. All right, now we're going into the earth chakra, so our connection to the ground, to the earth. All right, coveting the riches of others. So often we look at other people and think that their life is easier. And some aspects of their life may indeed be easier, but not all aspects. Even, people that have basically a good life, they will still have challenges, and they just might be different to ours. So gardening is really good to help. So could we start a little veggie garden or a little herb garden? And an oil comes up here, basil. Basil's the oil of renewal. So if you're feeling a bit worn down or frazzled, that might be the oil for you. I keep my mind in tip-top condition, oxygenated and clear. I increase my own natural energy with nutrition, proper rest, and am supported to achieve greater balance and health. I take all the time I need to restore myself. I factor rest and stress management practices into my busy schedule. So that can be a challenge for some of us, isn't it, to try and keep that balance. I enjoy stillness and the rejuvenation it brings to my mind. So, what are you going to plant in your garden? I accept my chapters as they unfold with flexibility and confidence. And some chapters are definitely scary, aren't they? They're like not what we had expected or not when we expected. And it can be intense to deal with the things that we're not used to dealing with. I'm worthy of my own love and attention. As I rise up to lead my tribe, I'm given the knowledge required. I no longer fear failure. I'm able to release the negative family patterns and replace them with positive, encouraging ones. My ability to be open to intuition enables those around me to trust their own intuition. I live in faith. And maybe we could say, I am faith. All right, in the layers of the aura now, so the third layer, which is about our thoughts and our ideas. So leaking energy. Females that we might be present with at the moment. Are feeling taken for granted. So I guess the opposite of being taken for granted is being valued, isn't it? Or being honoured or revered. So sometimes we can feel so I'm recognised, acknowledged, honoured, and respected. So not feeling respected. I allow myself to be respected. I respect myself. And I think self-respect is very important. You know, how we treat ourselves, how we treat our sleep, how we treat our exercise, how we treat the food that we eat, how we treat the spiritual things, our spiritual practices are all about, feeling our worth or showing our self-respect. And I guess if we, think about ourselves all having a portion of divinity, then we are worthy of respect because we are divine. I'm worthy of divine connection regardless. My worth is great. I see my problems as lessons of growth, not as failure. I'm connected to my earth family and my heavenly family. I'm in harmony with the universe. I allow myself to be peaceful and balanced. All right, so we're going into the ninth chakra, which is the lunar chakra, which is above the crown chakra, so up this way. And The preoccupation with finding the right career. So, different times in our life, we might change our career or what we're doing. And it can be a little scary because, we're used to doing a certain thing and knowing we can earn money that way. So it can be challenging to change how we're going and how we're earning money and how our life goes. All right. So this is strengthened by socializing people with people of a higher vibration. And the oil spikenard comes up. So this is about gratitude. And of course, when you're feeling like you're struggling, sometimes it's hard to have gratitude. It can be mad. Spikenard encourages the soul to surrender and accept life exactly as it is. It invites individuals to let go and find an appreciation for all of life's experiences. And I find that's often the case if you talk to people about the difficult experiences that they had and you ask them, well, what did you learn from this? And often they will tell you some very powerful things that they learned through this difficult experience. So you could use the spikenard if you're expecting bad luck, and it might help you to feel more peaceful. So that was from Essential Emotions. My family and I support each other through our growth and learning. I love who I am and who I am becoming. And I think that becoming is important, isn't it? Because we're not fixed. We're growing and changing and, becoming a better version of ourselves, hopefully. I'm worthy of making the effort to change. I face any fear that arises through my growth and learning with faith. I'm able to trust my heart despite negativity around me and within me. Others believe in me. I take my inner child by the hand and lovingly lead them to higher ground. And often these inner children will um, tug on our sleeve because there are things that haven't been processed for them. And so it's like we're the only person that can understand what they really need. And so sometimes you might have to sit and discuss something with your inner child. I release the need for life to be difficult and hard. Support and encouragement is available and string free. As I bless the lives of others, I am blessed. So now we're going into the solar star chakra. And bone disease is coming up. So I guess you could have arthritis or osteoporosis or things like that as we get older. So, the need to do exercise with like weights, or even against just your own body weight and against gravity. Also, like reducing the acidity in our food so our body can keep the calcium in our bones. I am the valley and the peaks, the river and the rain. All right, so is there anything else anyone would like to comment on, or is the energy stuck anywhere else for anyone? So our next Energy Works Advance will be in July 11th to the 13th, and the next basic will be the 8th, 9th, and 10th of August. And our next Energy Works get together will be the 22nd of June. And you're always welcome to come and to bring a friend, bring a plate, and just hang out together with like-minded people. Anyway, if you still feel like it's a bit hard to climb your mountain, you're welcome to book in either for a clarity call, or you can book in for a session at A1 Health. So if you want a clarity call, it's www.claritycall.com /Tanya Ormsby /clarity call. Or if you want to book in, it's the website's a1health.com.au, and you can go to book online. And you can either book in an in-person session or a phone one. All right, well, thank you for those that braved the cold and came onto the call this morning. I wish you well in your day and hope that you find your mountains a little easier to climb. Okay. See you.